Yes, good morning, Obia from Ghana. Baby, I'll show me Bia. Welcome to the critical analysis. I'm moving to me. Nancy, na me ye ika krebi. Intina me videos na say about 2 days me put moving to me. But there's a serious issue. I'm on for me set my off from I think Friday. One for tag me LGBTQ no. Mo bibi kan ho. Mo nsembi NDC kan opposition na ne omo kan ne. Ene backlash about Sam George so. Mechere madwen ho nenu a ena ma motag me obi tag ma Abronye video bi na beye 4 minutes on Archbishop Duncan-Williams. Hey, uzan bibia friend was wonko onko kangaroo disciplinary committee bia abo muzer menkan Abronye then people has to restrain him. Enya papa o attack Archbishop Duncan-Williams o attack a lot of people. Oma enima Archbishop Duncan betting American as me the besia. But answer ne because make sure to subscribe me. O subscribe click the notification me the video be tuma obehunu etima hwebi. Mo be kaya in the life of the last parliament in Ebenya LGBTQI+ bill. You kind of promoting Ghanaian value system because near starting and saying who say books to be an eba Ghana no. On be so much sebi o trumu a man na mani bi. Ewo ye books money ade honorable Sam George any ade story on no ye key member but a man for bring him say even some of the proponents of the bill and MP before can including Reverend John Intim Fojo MP for Asin Central Asin South former deputy education minister na bill ne ko ye nyina echi ne parliament pass a bill no ana parliament pass a bill so mo de come president president na be act of parliament one amana be adwuma President Akufo-Addo kasa bill no onsum because private members bill no sa bill no musuma it has a certain financial cost on the consolidated fund say ye kwachi obi ye kwa investigation ya the consolidated fund into the bebo man ka into ono de bill no nye e call parliament now dia any solve case in December ye beto ba I think it ban kra wi answer the Supreme Court e kasa on that issue. Very interesting scenario to President Akufo-Addo answer bill no now mechrem what has happened to the bill now pasade ni ko ben nanye ko hu mrantie bi pictures no meme hu no first but delete ye Kofi Ocheda KOD as is one of the director of diasporan affairs or presidency ness abrafo a eba Ghana ne sade na ono hwe so na me hu woni page me hu ya na sa wasan delete sa pictures no mrantie bi a me de minimum na nye ready say me be investigation on nyama ne metan omo fufu omo ho ano ye independence arc ne ade independence square na first question is a security zone so how did they get access to that place? How did they get access? Na no comment na obi e comment ni bia na Abronye di so say what in the TV bi evidence TV so here TV na chairman what the mamun TV
mwakisimo adana ye behemu nyina but Ghana de omatima babe gina Ghana afi omano akase omanya independence babi oman no gina ye enya fa ahodie no omako gina ho afi omano and then a man for free say it is okay musuo onyankopon abufu hyew ebe sore wo man Ghana onyankopon abufu hyew na eba no ede kwam na eba oman Ghana na mudidi Duncan-Williams no machia a wo na se so mo ya sofo a obi anim se odi kan kwa urobre edi tuo ejije nkrofo sika nyose sa sika nitwa wate asori wodi mu sika nyina ose eswa afede odi awura politics mu sa nipa we gefo ba no convince atofofuo binum a onim omo men kan wasem Ghana de ebedi week no na atwa moment protect government no moment protect abai no mo bia nkoka ge hu asem who born dog Duncan-Williams who are you wo no wo ya wo to o nyankopon nim wo teme ma Abronye wo Duncan-Williams wo yi na wo kra nyankopon asakra wo Duncan-Williams wo ti nyame asakra na me ntwintu onkum nipa da me nkọ urobreda me na nyankopon sakra me wo Duncan-Williams wo ti nyankopon wo sra wo so wo da wo hu bibi wo Duncan-Williams wo so ya sofo 10 me ma Abronye metia wo yi because of say me ni conquensa voice how good father I command because of say me mo san kwase ampa ye nti me no me de nyame ni me because wo de otim bia ohinim mo mpene kwase ampa ye ni bi mbeto so ne mo nkyira amanfo ne kwase ampa ye na oba oteatea mu no a on ka nokora na odinam kroma say ye Mahama nko na 4 years don't me mfa nya hwe no monfa meto so ne mo o mpaye bi nkwase mpaye bi producers monhwehwe mra ogisika ogisika no we wa asa na before ansa na o be gisika no so e won kwase mpaye bi obo monfa meto so mo bate hwe je metna kroma na mo magisika eni magefo metna yeso na no memra yeso ewo kroma because mo na mo wasika na mo akan ya no atum oh asofofo mu ni bie asofofo mu di nyame adie no ena nwumre o mo hwe me they will come out in their numbers and necessary Catholic bishop for mo sorry necessary Christian council mo sorry at necessary Pentecostal council mo sorry at necessary Presbyterian Church of Ghana mo sorry at necessary Methodist Church of Ghana mo sorry at necessary mo sorry at necessary mo sorry all the one man churches na mo jedi yesai onyankopon ana aton sa afremo no onyame timu ana mo ye nyame adwuma no
yes etino say wahoro Archbishop Duncan-Williams and minim so no be shouting competition no so then I think that the MPP need to call the gentleman to order. They really need to call the gentleman to order. Enya papa yenim penifon kasa sei enya papa na amanfo so e tag Sam George ebo na chini ade it's allowed ono so kasa adodo maybe you can cross President Mahama will no peace on sign bill na.
Lastly, on the LGBT issues, I mean, if you get a nod, how far would you hope to push it? The president, your candidate, when he was interviewed on the BBC, he said he would now look into what is in that bill.
You know, that's a misconception that's been put out. And I listened to that full BBC interview. President Mahama has been clear that he will sign that bill, and he has no option than to sign that bill. President Mahama will know no peace from Sam George until he signs that bill. And he himself has said that to the clergy, that as a Christian, as a member of the Assemblies of God Church, he will sign that bill. What the president said to the BBC was in response to why President Akufo-Addo has not signed the bill. And he said to them, look, what you, President Akufo-Addo, should have done, instead of rejecting service of the bill, was to have received the bill, stated what his displeasure is with the bill, which is what the Constitution says. The Constitution in Article 1067, President Mahama in his response to the BBC was referring to the Constitution of Ghana. Article 1067 says that when he gets to the president, he must within 14 days indicate whether he would sign or not sign. If he chooses not to sign, he then has to bring it back to Parliament and then state in the memo to Parliament the reasons why he's refusing to sign and add the recommendations to remedy those challenges he sees. Otherwise, within the 14 days, he can refer it within 30 days. He can refer it to the Council of State, who have 30 days to give him advice. That's what President Mahama was saying in that BBC interview. He was not saying that he now has to read the bill. President Mahama has read the bill. It's because he's read the bill that he told the clergy that when he becomes president, he will sign the bill, because President Mahama has no problem with anything in the bill.
Yes, it was canning in intermediate amount for I think so no Sam George na busan say attacks e corner so say yam pass bill any idea, and I think so better, but they need to explain the matters to the people, and that is why some of us do this thing, because we feel that there's a lot of noise in the system, and sometimes we need to state the fact. What are the facts? But they are no bro later. President Mahama ya okay ya beto no share clergy. Now okay, will give you strong promise to be on the LGBTQ say and okay.
My fathers and mothers in Christ, the current legal impasse created by the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration on the Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Act, which was passed by Parliament, has set a dangerous precedence for our governance. The constitutional directives for action by the President are quite clear and need not have resulted in this stalemate. As I have publicly stated, I'm a proud member of the Assemblies of God Church, and my faith does not permit same-sex marriages or relationships, nor Thank you. My faith does not permit same-sex marriages or relationship, nor does it endorse human-animal relationships, or does it allow people to change their gender as they wish. This is a fundamental belief that I hold and is grounded in my faith. I therefore assure you that the promotion of LGBTQ and all the pluses will have no place in our schools and communities under my administration. Thank you.
Intusha, ya papa masofo ejitumu. That tells you that the LGBTQ going into the 2024 election was a key issue. Osho ya papa masofo sorry bomb on some. It was a major key issue going into the election. Nobody should hoodwink you to believe in this issue pa. It's an MPP should place our card now, no? Because they know they suffered for Saadiana Prenya Kufu there. So one pass a bill, no? You get it? But no much more pass here because of the Britain Wood Institution, World Bank IMF and send some internet. You get it? Now, President Mahama Sambe president today. January, Oshia clergy no see and okay tieni na fa compare or kind in December. A brand on your president now Oshia clergy no fa compare.
The proper human sexuality, and it's quite a long name. Proper family values bill. If you remember, there was a court case that injuncted the speaker from forwarding it to the president, and also restrained the president from receiving the bill. Eventually, that case was disposed of in December. I think on the 18th or so. Yeah, so it meant that the injunction had been cleared. But as far as I know, the bill did not get to the president for assent. And so the convention is that all bills that are not assented to before the expiration of the life of Parliament expire. And so that bill effectively is dead, it has expired. I don't know what the promoters of the bill intend to do, but I do think that we should have a conversation on it again so that all of us, if we decide to move that bill forward, move it forward with a consensus. And probably it shouldn't be a private member's bill, it probably should be a government bill with government behind it after consultation with all the stakeholders to see how we're able to move this forward. But it leads us back to the discussion we had that if we're teaching our values in school, we won't need to pass a bill to enforce, our family values. And that's why I think more than even the family values bill is us agreeing on a curriculum that inculcates these values into our children as they're growing up, so that we don't need to legislate it. And so we'll see how all this goes. And so I'm looking forward to this review conference so we can come to some consensus on some of these issues.
Yes, it was President Mahama now on cancel bill no. Aban be sign the kekewu. O chire mu nienti a bill nan succeed. And he's right. when a bill is introduced by one parliament, na sa bill na yam pass ya. Parliament for ba, they need to reintroduce the bill. That's affirmative action into the chair for almost 20 years. So the NDC government must reintroduce the bill. Now, President Mahama Sasana again, on can't say ben is a private members will be or say ye benya aban and Indian. Meaning that our financial argument today DSB course on the consolidated fund. A buying back factor in all those angles so introduce a bill no, as a government bill, not as a private members bill. As a government bill. As a government bill. So that is the difference now. And I think Parliament recess I think the NDC government need to start it. Because someone are careful. So I deal with a very sensitive issue. It may affect the government. A man for be beg muso as a contracture because what's your commentary, see videos, evidence, you had every stage and promise people say mube trust and I'm passes our bill, mumba passes our bill, and that's a trumu sem no amagan. I think they need to stick to that promise. Now again, then people need to call Abronye to order. This is not how we criticize leadership. Enya papa. There's no evidence I be sure that can work nipa. And it's bad. Me de besia if from you say to send the Debbie American I critical analyst and mess show so be subscribe click the notification me the video be here tomorrow ubehu na wait me ahwe bi bye bye.